Hello grade 9s and welcome to another lesson in natural sciences. Right now we're just going to be looking at some questions in the nervous system. Here we go. So I modified that from Siavula. Please take it down. So number 1 states, give the two main divisions of the nervous system. Oh my, I just gave you the answer. Sorry, I'm too forward. So you have the central nervous system, which is the CNS. That's your brain and spinal cord. And then you have the peripheral nervous system. So this connects your central nervous system to the muscles and effector organs. Number 2 states, what do we call the long fibers which transmit messages from the central nervous system to the rest of the body and back? So these are called nerves. Nervous tissue is also acceptable. Number 3 states, list the two main parts of the central nervous system. So the central nervous system is made up of the brain, which is in the skull, as well as the spinal cord, which are the nerves that run along the vertebral column. Number 4 states, which part of the skeletal system protects the brain? We know that the brain is protected by the skull. Yes, I'll accept cranium, right? So the skull is the cranium along with the mandible, which is the jawbone. Number 5 asks, which part of the skeletal system protects the spinal cord? So that's the vertebral column. Also known as the backbone or the spinal column. Number 6 asks, which part of the nervous system connects the central nervous system to the muscles and organs? So this is the peripheral nervous system. Number 7 states, give the sense organ that is responsible for hearing. Hearing, we know that it is the ear. Smell, we know that it is the nose. Okay. Sight, we know that it is the eye. Touch, this is the skin. And taste, this is the tongue. Okay, number 8 states, give the functions of the nervous system. Now this is very broad, right? The nervous system is responsible for many functions, right? So one of them is that it interprets stimuli received from the sense organs, right? So it interprets stimuli received from the ears, our eyes, so that we are aware of what is happening in our environment. Then it maintains homeostasis. So the homeostasis is the maintenance of a constant internal body environment despite changes in the external environment, right? So it has many functions. It also protects the body from serious injury, because when you are injured, say for example you step on a pin, your foot will, if your nervous system is intact, your foot will automatically move away from that stimuli, because your body knows that if you lose blood, you could end up in a coma or possible death, right? So number 9 asks, which nerve carries electrical impulses from the ear to the brain to enable hearing? This is the auditory nerve. Number 10 asks, which nerve transmits signals from specialized cells within the eye to the brain, where visual stimuli are interpreted? This is the optic nerve. So the optic nerve, eye, right? And then the auditory nerve, hearing. So 11 asks, what do we call the multiple nerve endings in the skin that respond to pressure, pain, temperature, and movement? These are called receptors. So you don't need to know the specific receptors for now. Just know that anything that responds to, pain, pressure, temperature, or movement is a receptor. Number 12 asks, which receptors in the tongue and parts of the mouth can distinguish between the different flavors? These are the taste buds. Number 13 states, list the 4 main flavors of taste. So we know that we have sweet, then we have sour, then we have salty, and then we have bitter. It said 4 main, right? So some scientists, they say there's a new flavor called umami. Yeah. So in case you hear about that, umami. Number 14 states, name any 2 degenerative disorders of the nervous system. So degenerative disorders of the nervous system are any disorders that eat away at parts of the nervous system. So you have Alzheimer's disease, Alzheimer's disease is a form of dementia, right? And then you have Parkinson's disease. So Parkinson's disease causes that rigid movement, right? Movement is no longer coordinated in muscles. And then you have multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis affects multiple parts of the nervous system. So it can affect the nerves which control the bladder. So you can have incontinence, urinary incontinence. It can affect the nerves which in the brain. We can have memory loss and we can have all kinds of problems. Number 15 states, give any two mental health problems. So mental health problems are stuff like depression, which is also called unipolar depression. And then you have bipolar disorder. Which is also called bipolar depression or manic depression. And then you also have like anxiety disorder. Number 16 states, list 3 effects of drug abuse and alcohol abuse on the brain. So you can have irreversible brain damage, you can have memory loss, you can have decreased learning capacity, okay, I hope that helped and see you again.